Hi everybody, welcome once again to Storytime. My name's Ellie, and as per usual, I'm pretty happy to be here with you guys today. I'm trying to think of if I have any big news or anything. No, I don't. So we are just gonna go ahead and get started with singing hello with our hello song. So I always say, please feel free to sing along with me, or you can make up your own words. You can just use my words, or you can hum or dance, whatever you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Ready? Hello, 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 and how are you? We're fine, we're fine. Hope that you are too. Hello, 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 and how are you? We're fine, we're fine. Hope that you are too. Welcome to my living room for stories, books, and songs. I'm glad that you're here and hope you'll sing along. Hello, 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 and how are you? We're fine, we're fine. Hope that you are too. Great! Thank you so much. I hope you sang along at home. I got kind of distracted there because there was a dog walking outside on the street. I love dogs, you guys. All right, so we are still focused. We are going to keep saying hello with some bread and butter so you can get your hands ready and follow along with me. Here we go. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. Ho! Ho! Good. Next we'll go slow. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slow as we can. Hello. That's pretty slow if I say so myself. All right. Next we'll go high. So teeny tiny mouse voices. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as high as we can. Hello, hello up there, hello. I just noticed there's a mark on my ceiling. All right, now we'll say hello as low as we can. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as low as we can. Hello, hello floor, hello, hello. Next, for our almost last one, our second to last one, we're going to say hello as loud as we can. But while we're getting ready to do that, maybe think about how loud you should be in your home where you are now. So like if someone's sleeping, maybe don't scream hello. Maybe just say hello. All right, ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loud as we can. Hello! Hello, hello! Very good. And for our very last one, we're going to say hello as quiet as we can, and we're going to do the whole thing quiet. Ready? Here we go. Bread and butter, marmalade, jam. Let's say hello as quiet as we can. Hello. What? Great. Very good job, you guys. All right. Now that we've said our hellos, it is time to figure out what our stories are going to be about today. I'm pretty excited about these stories. So let's open up our mailbox so we can guess what our stories are about. To open our mailbox, we need to say our ABCs all together, okay? And if you mess up, that's okay. I mess up my ABCs all the time. Ready? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? I wonder what letter got mailed to me. Let's open up our mailbox so we can see. All right. We have a good one. What do you think it is? It's going to be a surprise. It is an S. The letter S. I think this one actually goes like this. Just the shape of it. An S! What words do we know that start with the letter, oh, there we go, S? How about the word stuff? The word stuffed animal. Well, not animal, but stuffed. The word ship and secret and smile. But our stories today aren't about any of those things. Our stories are all about, ready? Are all about sharing. I have sharing stories for us today, and I'm pretty excited about them. These are some of my favorite stories to tell. But our first story today is called Two Tall Houses, and I'm going to read it to you, okay? So, Two Tall Houses. This is a very beautiful book. Rabbit and Owl lived in two small houses on top of a hill. I'm going to have to readjust here. Can you see this? Good. Rabbit liked to grow vegetables in the sun, and Owl enjoyed the view of the forest. In the evening, they played under the twilight sky. They were good neighbors and good friends. Until one day. Rabbit, Owl complained, your garden is growing too tall. I can't see the forest. But what can I do? Rabbit replied. I have to grow food. So Owl began to build his house taller. Rabbit watched and chittered his teeth. Owl, look what you did. Your house is blocking the sun from reaching my garden. But I have to see the forest, said Owl. So Rabbit built his house taller too and planted some vegetables on the roof. But when Rabbit watered his rooftop plants, it made Owl very angry. So Owl built his house even taller. I want to be tallest, yelled Rabbit. What? Screeched Owl. You are so far below me that I can't even hear you. So Rabbit built his house taller and put up a fence around the garden. You-hoo-hoo! Who do you think you are? Screeched the Owl, and he went to find more twigs for his house. And Rabbit went to fetch more soil for his house. And soon they had the two tallest houses in the world. Look, this is the earth down here. Wow. Owl! I can't carry water up my ladder, cried Rabbit. And I can't see the forest, cried Owl. Way up high, the wind roared and bellowed. Whoosh! Crack! Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. And blew the two tall houses up into the air. Crack! Whoosh! Hold on, Rabbit, cried Owl. They landed with a plunk. All I have left is a pile of dirt, moaned Rabbit. And my house is a bunch of broken twigs, sighed Owl. Alone, they had nothing. But together, they had all they needed to build one small house. The end. That is Two Tall Houses by Gianna Marino. Isn't that a good one? They ended up sharing in the end. Good listening. Okay, we are going to do some stuff with our hands before our next story. We are going to do some open, shut them. So you can follow along with me. Ready? Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them. Right up to your little chin. Open wide your little mouth. Bah! But do not let them in. Very good. Let's do it once more. Ready? Whew, here we go. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them. Right up to your little chin. Open wide your little mouth. Bah! But do not let them in. Good! Good job not letting those little hands in. All right. So our next story is an old, old story. This, I believe, is a Russian folk tale called The Story Blanket. And once upon a time, well, the story is about a storyteller. So, once upon a time in a village, there was an old wise woman. Her name was Baba Zara, I believe. Yes, Baba Zara. I was going to say Baba Yaga, that's a different thing. All right. There was an old woman named Baba Zara. And Baba Zara was the wisest woman in town. Whenever anybody had questions or problems, they went to Baba Zara and asked, "What do I do?" And she would sit, make her tea, and think to herself and go, every question has an answer. And they would think, and eventually they'd come up with the answer. How amazing. Baba Zara's other favorite thing to do was to tell stories for all the kids in the village. She told scary stories, dramatic stories, sad stories, funny stories, all sorts of stories you could think of. And when she told her stories, she put them all down on her story blanket, which I'm realizing the sun shone on the story blanket. So she would lay them all down on the story blanket. So, one day when she was telling stories, she noticed one of the boys in the village had a big hole right in his sock, a little boy named Nikolai. And Baba Zara said, "Oh no, the cold winter is coming and little Nikolai has a hole in his sock. His toes are going to get cold." So after story time, she sat down to knit him a new blanket, but she was out of yarn. So she said, "What am I supposed to do? I can't knit without any yarn." And she thought, every question has an answer. And as she was thinking about where she could get some more yarn, she looked at her story blanket. And she said, "I have just the thing." And she unraveled a corner of the story blanket. And she knit little Nikolai those socks. And in the middle of the night, she snuck up to little Nikolai's house, and she left the socks on the doorstep and went back home. She didn't want anyone to know it was her. Now the next day, she noticed that the mail person, the postman, he didn't have a scarf. And she said, "Oh, the cold weather is coming. What is going to keep his neck warm?" And she said, "I'll knit him a scarf." And she removed yet some more of the story blanket to knit a scarf. Now the following day after that, a teacher at the school, Baba Zara noticed that the teacher didn't have mittens to keep her hands warm. And Baba Zara said, "Oh, it's just getting colder. She needs mittens." So she unraveled even more of the story blanket and made mittens and dropped them off right on the teacher's door and went home. And nobody knew Baba Zara was making all of these villagers all of these knitted gifts. Now, the next day, Baba Zara noticed that her neighbor's apron had a hole in it. And Baba Zara said, "Oh, she's such a good neighbor, I need to make her a new apron." So Baba Zara unraveled more of the story blanket and dropped off a brand new knitted apron on her neighbor's doorstep in the middle of the night, so no one knew it was her, and she went back home. Now at this point, how big is this story blanket compared to what it used to be? Tiny! It's a teeny tiny story blanket, and all the children had to squish together to sit on it, but nobody thought anything of it. Now, Baba Zara noticed at one of her story times that the local butcher, he didn't have a hat. And she thought, "Oh, the weather's getting colder. The butcher needs a hat." So she unraveled more of the story blanket, and the children would be even more squished on it. But no one thought of it. And then it was baby Olga's birthday, and Baba Zara wanted to give baby Olga a gift. So she thought, what can I do? What can I give baby Olga? I've got it. Every question has an answer, and I know what that answer is. I will knit her a new baby blanket. So Baba Zara took the last piece of story blanket and dropped off the new knitted blanket on baby Olga's parents' doorstep. Or baby Olga, if she owned a home, on the doorstep. Now, all of these villagers have noticed that everyone was getting gifts and nobody knew who the gifts came from. And one day they called a town meeting and everyone gathered and they said, "Who has been giving us all of these delightfully knitted presents?" And they looked around and they said, "Let's think. What does Baba Zara tell us? Every question has an answer." So they thought and they looked at all of the knitted things that were in the room. And they said, "All of these presents are the colors of the story blanket. The story blanket that has suspiciously been getting smaller and smaller. Baba Zara has done this. And that's why she doesn't have a story blanket anymore." Oh, and they all thought what they can do to help Baba Zara get a new story blanket. So they all went home and unraveled bits of their own blankets at home and put all the yarn into a basket. And in the middle of the night, they snuck to Baba Zara's house and left the basket on her doorstep. And they ran off. And when Baba Zara got the basket, she started working on a new story blanket. And the first story she would tell on that blanket was about a village who all shared with each other. The end. Very good listening. That's, like I said, that's an old folktale. Very good job, you guys. All right. Before our last story, we are going to do the Grand Old Duke of York, I think. I think that's a good little activity for us to do. So we are going to get our hands ready. And for this one, you can jump up and down, or you can do it with your arms, or not at all, whatever you want, okay? So here we go. The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they're up, they're up. And when they're down, they're down. And when they're only halfway up, they're neither up or down. Was that too fast? Should I do it a little bit slower? Ready? The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they're up, they're up. And when they're down, they're down. And when they're only halfway up, they're neither up or down. All right, so we did it medium speed. We did it slow. What's our last way to do it? Probably super fast? Yeah? All right, ready? Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them to the top of the hill and marched them down again. And when they're up, they're up. And when they're down, they're down. And when they're only halfway up, they're neither up or down. Good job! All right. Did you guys jump? If you did jump, I bet you are so tired. But it's good, because now you can sit down and listen to our very last story. I believe it's called The Turnip. But there's a lot of stories called The Turnip. No, it's called Rabbit's Gift. It is called Rabbit's Gift. And it is, as I'm sure you could guess, about Rabbit. Now, Rabbit was gearing up for the winter, something I'm sure we're all doing. Rabbit was gearing up for the winter, and from her garden she plucked a ginormous turnip. It was so big, and she was so excited to eat it. She hopped all the way home and was so ready because the snow was starting to fall. Winter wasn't coming. It was here. The snow was falling. Rabbit hopped through the snow to get home to eat her big, big turnip. She was maybe going to make it into some turnip stew, maybe turnip pie, maybe turnip casserole. She was ready. She was thinking of plans. And when she got home, she was getting ready to take one big bite. She went, wait! This is a giant, giant turnip. And, you know, I have plenty of carrots to eat this winter, but this storm outside is so bad, and my neighbor, Chipmunk, might not have any food. Oh, I better bring this to Chipmunk. So Rabbit hopped through the snow to Chipmunk's house, singing a song. She sang, I'm bringing this turnip to Chipmunk. This snow just does not seem to end. I want to make sure he has food through the storm because Chipmunk is such a good friend. I was going to say turnip is such a good friend because Chipmunk is such a good friend. And she hopped all the way. When she got to Chipmunk's house, she knocked on the door. She went out, knock, knock, knock. Chipmunk! Knock, knock, knock. And there was no answer. So Rabbit decided she would just leave the turnip on his doorstep. She said, ooh, I better get home. It's too cold. So she hopped as fast as she could all the way home. Now, it wasn't before too long that Chipmunk got home. Oh, Chipmunk was scurrying through the snow. And when he got to his door, he went, oh, a gift? What is this? Oh, this is the biggest turnip I've ever seen. Oh, I bet it's going to be so delicious. I better get this inside out of this snow. And Chipmunk went inside. And as Chipmunk was about to take one big bite out of this turnip, he went, wait! This is a big turnip. It's almost as big as I am. I don't need this whole thing. And I'm kind of worried about my neighbor, Deer. Deer might not have any food through this big storm. I should take this to Deer. So Chipmunk grabbed the turnip and went through the snow singing a song. Singing, I'm bringing this turnip to Deer. This snow just does not seem to end. I want to make sure Deer has food through the storm because Deer is such a good friend. And Chipmunk got to Deer's house and went, knock, 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 knock. Deer! Dear? But Dear wasn't home. So Chipmunk left the turnip at Dear's house and said, "Oh, I better get home. It is too cold." Ah! And scurried all the way home. Now, it wasn't before too long that Dear came home. Dear was running through the snow to get home before she got too cold. And she said, oh my, what is this? It's a huge turnip. It's bigger than my face. Oh, this is going to be delicious. I wonder who left it. Oh, well, let's go inside. So Dear took the turnip inside and was trying to get warm. And as she was sitting down to take a big bite of the turnip, she went, "Wait, I can't eat this turnip. Someone was so kind to leave it on my doorstep, but I am worried about my friend Fox. I should take this turnip to Fox. Yes, I'll do that." So Dear grabbed the turnip somehow and started going to Fox's house. And as she was going, she sang the song, "I'm bringing this turnip to Fox. The snow just does not seem to end. I want to make sure Fox has food through the storm because Fox is such a good friend." And she left the turnip on Fox's doorstep and knocked and said, "Fox! Fox! Huh. Okay, I guess I'll just leave this here then." And Dear scurried back home so she wouldn't get too cold in the snowstorm. And then Fox came home. And Fox said, "Oh my, what is this? It's a turnip? Who would possibly travel through this storm to bring me a turnip? Oh, it looks delicious. How kind of whoever that was." And Fox went inside. And as Fox was sitting down to take a bite of the turnip, he went, Oh, someone was so kind to bring this to me. I can't possibly eat this giant turnip by myself. I know what I'll do. I will share it with Rabbit. So Fox grabbed the turnip and started going to Rabbit's house, going through the snowstorm, saying, "I'm bringing this turnip to Rabbit. The snow just does not seem to end. I want to make sure she has food through the storm because Rabbit is such a good friend." And when Fox got to Rabbit's house, he knocked on the door. "Rabbit! Rabbit!" And in a twist of events, guess who opened the door? It was Rabbit. And Rabbit said, "Fox, what are you doing here? I brought you this turnip to share." This turnip? This turnip seems very familiar to me some reason. It's my turnip! I brought this turnip to Chipmunk. You did? Well, I found it on my doorstep. Oh, so Rabbit knew just what to do. Rabbit called up Dear and Chipmunk on her animal cell phone, I guess. And they all shared the ginormous turnip together. The end. Very good listening. All right, those are all of our stories, but we have one more thing to do, which I'm sure you guys know what it is. We are doing some Knees Up Mother Brown. So when our little chicken friend is up in the air, we get to sit down. I had to think. We sit down, and when he starts to dance, we get to dance too, okay? We're going to start with a girl from France. There was a girl from France who didn't know how to dance. The only thing that she could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let them freeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Sit back down. Very good. Rabbit had a turnip to share, to show her neighbors that she cared. The only other thing that she could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let 'em freeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Sit back down. Their houses got too tall. They were really sure to fall, I guess, because they were so tall. The only other thing that they could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let 'em freeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Sit back down for our very last one. We are going to see if this little chicken can do a handstand. Ready? There was a teeny tiny man who loved to do handstands. The only other thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Yippee! Knees up, Mother Brown. Ooh-wee! Knees up, never let 'em freeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Extra fast! Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, knees up, Mother Brown. Good job, everybody. All right. Thank you so much for watching Storytime. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you tune in on Saturdays for the Saturday show and other days for other story times. It's always delightful to do this for you guys. But before we go, we need to wiggle our fingers way up to the sky. Wiggle fingers. Wave them all goodbye. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Bye.